everybody. How are we doing today? Family First Life America agency call. Excited to be on here with you today. Excited to be spending the day with you. We've got my man, Alexander Strate, coming on today. Brand new vice president and top producer. I think he crushed it this week. Past 2 days, I think he did somewhere around 9,000 the past 2 days. So he's going to talk about that. Looking forward to having him on the call today. And excited to have so many of you on here with us. As we always like to start the call, let's jump right on into the report card and see how everybody did this past week. That's the number one thing we try to look at, recognize, talk about, and focus on is how to get better. How do we get to where we are, and how do we get to where we want to go to? First thing is one, recognizing the top 50. Everyone who made the top 50 this week, great job to everybody. If you placed in the top 50, if you didn't, set a goal to get into it. Next week, set a goal to get into the second column, then set your bigger goals to get into the first column club. Those are just things you try to ladder yourself up to find out how hard do I want to work at this? How good do I want to get at this? How much do I want to work at this? And what's great about this business is there's no limits. There's nothing holding you back but you. There's nothing holding you back but how many times you dial the phone. There's nothing holding you back from how many people you talk to. There's nothing holding you back. That's the biggest thing you've got to start understanding, is that this is a you versus you business, but at the same standpoint, it's a you versus you business that allows you to get better, as good as you want to get. And that's the biggest thing I always try to get people to understand and focus on, is that your success it's just lead purchases and dialing the phone. Lead purchases and dialing the phone. Put a 2 in the comments below if that makes sense. So great job, everybody. This week, 103 agents, 380 total applications for $391,860 in potential commissions earned. Really good chance that the way we're getting, that's going to issue somewhere in the round of, I don't know, 340, 350. People learning different underwriting guidelines as new agents. Some stuff might kick back, but that's a significant growth from just what we were doing a few months ago. So great job, everybody. Even bigger great job to all the brand new business owners, new agents. 7 new agents this week. Janelle, let's start from the bottom. Austin H, Heather S, Don B, Karen D, Austin L, Tamika W, and number 1, Janelle C. Great job, Janelle C. Now we'll shout out everybody who did over 5,000 this week. There were 24 agents who submitted over $5,000 in the past 7 days. $5,000 in the past 7 days. What a business. Great job, everybody. 24 people. Ashley G, 5,240. Logan H, 5,693. Colin S, 5,736. Nina D, 5,804. Luis D, 6,109. Aline M, 6,388. Clay S, 6,435. Marsha M, 14 apps, 6,544. Janelle C, great job coming out the gate swinging. Brand new agent, 8 apps for 6,782. I believe she's working with Miss Nina D. So you guys are a dynamic duo. Great job, Janelle. Welcome to FFL. Tabitha H, 7,318. Coveted first column club. Great job, everybody who made the first column club. 14 agents. Benjamin E, 8,292. Josh M, 8,330. Andy G, 8,552. Alexander S on the call today. 10 apps, 9,729. Boom. Alan G, 9 apps, 9,732. Cassandra C, 12 apps, 10,169. Juan R, 8 apps, 10,697. I believe that Cassandra and Juan both work with Alex. So good job. Way to grow a great team, man. Michaela G, 10,974. Jordan S, 11,358. Brittany H, 11,828. Matthew S, welcome back, Matt. Good to have you home, buddy. 9 apps for 12,581. Top 3 of the week. Gage P, $14,245. Miss Genevieve O, always swinging, our Hall of Fame rock star. 14 apps for $25,132, and the Russian Hammer himself, Julius Gilger, Vice President, going Senior Vice President, 9 apps, $35,077 in a week. Great job, Julius. Holy smokes! If you want some more Julius, I'm going to tell you how to get some more Julius right here. Tonight, we have our business development meeting hosted by corporate. Julius is going to go live tonight on the corporate Facebook channel. It is, we created a short link. It'll be ffl-live.com. If you'd like to introduce some people to what we do here at Family First Life, if you'd like to get some people plugged in to this business, Julius couldn't do a better job. I could imagine he's got, I think, 3 or 4 potential Hall of Fame producers on his own team as well. Will hit Hall of Fame himself this year. That's 400,000 issue paid in a year. Yep, 400,000 issue paid in a year. And so Julius is going to do a phenomenal job. That's tonight, 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. This image is in Slack. It's all over the Facebook group. Send it out. Say, hey, why don't you take it? If you're not happy with what you're currently doing, why don't you check out what one of my buddies has been able to accomplish in the past year and a half with the company that I'm working with. Just a real tactful. I don't know if this is for you. This may or may not be for you, but my buddy Julius is going to do a good job explaining how this company works. Drop a 5 in the comments below if you're going to share this with a few people tonight, because Julius is going to do a great job. So ffl-live.com, if you're watching this on replay in the future, that ffl-live.com will go to a BDM video. So by all means, feel free to check it out if you're watching us and you don't currently work with us. So great job, Julius. I want to jump into something real quick and teach you guys something that I think is getting overlooked. And the thing that I believe is getting overlooked is how valuable the Family First Life CRM is. And a lot of you maybe have access to it. You're trying to get access. Just talk to your upline, talk to their upline if you don't have it yet. But let's get you plugged in to the CRM as fast as possible. One thing I think is getting overlooked, and I'll tell you a quick story about a guy named John DeVries. Okay, John DeVries is an agent we have who wrote, I think, like 390,000 last year off of all aged CRM leads. What's your profitability when all your leads cost $3 or $2 or $1 or 50 cents? And so FFL does a great job about cultivating and purchasing and getting access to leads all across the country from different vendors, aged leads that haven't been originally sold by an agent, maybe in another company. We say, hey, if those agents aren't closing them, you know, we'll take them. We buy them off the lead vendor, put them in the CRM, give you access to them. Again, Family First Life does not sell leads. These are the vendors. We just use our CRM as a place to kind of be able to get it all in an organized fashion, right? So we've all got our Facebook leads. We've got mail drops. We've got EverQuote. We've got so many different lead vendors, right? That's the big thing about FFL. That's why we're growing like crazy, is because we don't hold back on leads. It's the #1 focus, right? As a company, we did 8 million issue paid in life-only business in December. And then I believe this past month in April, May's numbers clearly aren't out yet, but in April, we did right around 14 million. That's growth. And the #1 barometer is because we pay people more, right? 140% up to that. Pay people more than anybody else out there. And we have a ton of leads and great training and a great environment for people to come in here and get access to people that requested the coverage, right? I make this joke, and you know, I'll bring it up every 3 months. If I spent $500,000 opening a restaurant and I got the whole thing set up and I got my linen order and I got my, you know, my roll-ups done and I got the, you know, all the sugar caddies set on the table and I got all this money, $50,000 in food, and I got my 20 staff and my 17 servers, and I had to rely on the people that my sister Paris knew. That's her name. So my name's Grady. My sister's name is Paris. My parents partied a lot in the 70s. I don't know. So if I had to rely on the people that she knew in order to get customers in my business, right? So referrals only or networking only or make a list only, my business would fail, right? As a business owner, if I owned a restaurant, I'd be putting advertisements in magazines, radio ads, billboard ads. I'd be doing mail drops. I'd be doing Facebook ads. I'd do anything I could to let people know that I'm open for business. All that costs money. So that's why Family First Life is so good, because we understand that if we pay you more, you can afford to buy leads, because they're people that are interested, right? They're interested in the business. Are these $1,000 a pop? No. Are they $500 a pop? $250 a pop? No. $100 a pop? No. Right? Like, we've got leads from brand new exclusive leads, 15 to 60 bucks, or you can get in the CRM and get access to our age leads that are maybe 30, 60, 90 days old, for $3 to $1. And now you've got someone that at some point said I was interested, but the original time that lead was purchased, they did not, they were not able to convert the sale. They were not able to put them in a position. The client didn't answer. They weren't interested at the time, etc. So drop a $ in the comments below if you've ever made a sale off aged leads. Let's see how many $signs go up right now. We're going to see about 130 because we've all made sales. They're fantastically. So, but a big thing that I know. So where's Grady going? There's a awesome feature inside the CRM that allows you. Let me back up to John. So John, 390K producer, only bought aged leads. Now, how did he do it? There's alerts you can turn on in the CRM that anytime a new lead is added, okay, a new lead is added to the CRM, it'll send you an email. And the way John always joked, he's like, I get up early. So when I get those emails at like 3 or 4 in the morning, he logs in the CRM at 4:15 and buys up the leads. And he was running along like Southern Arizona and like just right up against Mexico. And one agents didn't go there a lot. So there's a deeper strategy called the blue ocean and the red ocean strategy as far as businesses can be constructed. Blue ocean, red ocean. What is the red ocean? The red ocean is populous metropolitan areas. Populous metropolitan areas where there's a lot of people, there's a lot of competition. And with all that competition, the red turns the ocean red, blood in the water, red ocean, competition. Well, there's a whole blue ocean all there, a whole blue ocean outside of these metropolitan areas. And if you, as a producer who wants to sell insurance and protect families and put people in a good position, all you've got to do is just drive your car more than 30 minutes, more than an hour, and go out to some of these blue ocean markets. And there's millions of people outside of your metropolitan area. You got to drive a little bit more, but no one's going out there. It's like most agents are kind of lazy, right? I get these emails and someone's like, well, I want a lead credit because this lead's 51 miles away from my house. And you said they're all supposed to be within 50 miles. Dude, the guy sent you an email saying he wants to buy insurance and you want to drive 1 more mile? Like, that's the mindset. Some agents get entitled, right? So don't let that, don't become victim to that. So John DeVries, 390, all off aged CRM leads in the blue ocean, right up against Mexico, where no one from Phoenix really wanted to drive down to. The Tucson, and I mean, referring to Arizona if you look at it at a map, but it's 3 hours away. So what would he do? He'd go get a hotel down there and he'd run 25 appointments in 2 days and he'd write like $17,000 because all those clients who sent in lead cards never responded. So I know, like, when I go what I'm going to show you is the CRM right now. Don't think, hey, I just only want to get the leads that are 12 minutes from my house. So what I want to show you is how to set up CRM alerts. I'm going to show you this real quick, and then we're going to bring on my main man, the guest speaker and guest trainer today. But this is important because if you don't have these set up, it's a reason why maybe you're not, if you order from a vendor and they're behind, right? Big tip too, we mentioned it last week, is if you're a newer agent, call the vendor before you place your order and say, hey, how are you delivering in Chicago? How are you delivering in Virginia? How are you delivering in Sacramento? Right? Ask them how they're delivering, if they're going to have any issues, or no, we've got 12 orders ahead of you right now. We'll be happy to get to you, but it might be a week or so. So call the vendors. We got 9, 10 different vendors, all listed on the training website, all posted in the groups, that you're more than happy to go and contact them and say, hey, how is your availability right now? Okay. Big tip. 2, lock out EverQuote. Get some EverQuote credit, and then CRM leads. And that's the thing. So I'll talk to agents. I'll be like, so yesterday there was 20,000 new leads dropped in the CRM. 20,000, okay, all over the country. I talked to an agent last night, and he's like, I checked this afternoon, they were already gone. And I'm like, well, got to turn on the alerts, got to get up earlier. All right. So for all of you, I'm going to show you to turn on alerts. Make a note to yourself, put on alerts, and put yourself in a position where you now can be ready to know when more leads come in. Is this your primary lead source? No. Is this a supplemental lead source? Yes. And it's a great supplemental lead source when you get your new batch and then you need to fill in appointments. You go through your HCRM list and you go, hey, oh my gosh, these guys are in the same city or in the same zip code that I'm going to be in all day tomorrow. Let's call them, and then have you just print them out, and then you go do some door knocks. Hey, you filled this request a few months ago. I'm the field underwriter attached to your case. They said no one ever came out to you. My job is to show you the final expense options that are available to you, or my job is to show you the mortgage protection options that are available to you. You have a few minutes now, start walking in, right? We'll get Alex on here in a second. He'll talk about doing his door knock. So big thing. So how do you set up Serum Alerts? Let's go. I'm gonna show you real quick, and then we're gonna bring on my guy. So I'm logged in the CRM. You click on purchase lead, it takes you to this page, okay? You click on, just say, for example, click on the first one, and Mail Pro Cherry Pick Leads, click next. Takes me into the CRM. And let's just say hypothetically, so it shows you all the heat map area, shows you where there's a lot of leads over on the East Coast. So if you're thinking about hiring or introducing people in FFL, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, looks like New Jersey, Florida. I mean, there's a ton of leads over here. Is there leads over here? Yes, there's leads over here, but there's more over here. So let's just say hypothetically, I'm gonna go start, I wanna do a travel trip. And so I'm gonna buy some new leads, and I'm going to want to get some supplemental leads. So let's say I'm going to go to Albuquerque. Okay, so I click in here on Albuquerque, and here's Bernalillo County. Click here. Look what happens. I click on it. It's highlighted yellow. All I have to do is click that box. Now alerts are turned on. Anytime new leads are added down here. Let me get down here. Anytime new leads are added down here, so anytime these numbers go up, so it looks like there's some bunch of leads. These new internet life leads, I'm hearing from all kinds of agents, these things are money. These things are absolute money. And just to make sure you look in your different markets local, hey, travel trips are great too. But so all you got to do is click that little button. I'm just learning how to use mouses. Hold on. There we go. And now, so I click a different county. Now I'm in Torrance County. Alert turned off. Boom. Let's turn alerts on again. I'm going to drive across Arizona. So here, look at, this is Cibola County. Alerts on. That's all you have to do. So you can go back and you can set up alerts for all the different counties. So once you set them up for different markets, you want to take trips for every single different lead type, these 3 different lead types, and put yourself in a position where now you are going to get, so what it works is it sends you an email as soon, so corporate processes new leads, they come in at night, they batch them into the CRM, and then the CRM, boop, sends you out emails. And if someone buys them before you, it'll say 0. But first thing in the morning, 3, 4, I mean, corporate's in Connecticut. So 8 o'clock over there is 5 o'clock on the East Coast. I apologize, 5 o'clock on the West Coast. So depending on where you are, right, just get up early, right? Get up early, work out, check the CRM, get alerts. Set yourself in a position where you've got more leads to call, overbuy on leads. You're gonna make your money back, I promise, okay? So with that, drop a yes in the comments below if that was helpful. I'm big on this comment interaction thing. I'm really enjoying it. A lot of yeses. I love it. Okay, so what I want to do, I want to read let me find my guy, and then let me do this first. Sorry, I want to read a little quote that Alex said recently, and it's a testament to who he is. It's a testament to who he is, and what's great about Alex is he's a student of the business, he's a student of marketing, he's a student of personal development, and he's gonna rock your world. But I'm gonna read a quote that he just shared recently. Let me do this first. I'm gonna share this. Hold on. I'm gonna share this first. Hey, buddy, hold on. I'm gonna share this while I read something you recently shared in Slack. Alexander Strate says, FFL Fire, which is his vice president team name. You get to pick once you hit senior sales manager. Alex has ascended past that to vice president. FFL Fire has 70 people in ExamFX studying for their insurance license right now, and 23 people currently in contracting. The work you do now, you will see the results in 90 days. Some people make excuses during global pandemics, rely on unemployment, the government, backup jobs, and everyone but themselves. And others take control of their future and make it freaking happen no matter what. Which person are you? It's my guy. Right. So that's the mindset of Alexander Strate as you get to, some of you maybe never met him, and so I want to introduce you to him. You've probably seen him posting around. He's got the coolest gifts in the Facebook group on his team recognition stuff. And, but I want to introduce Alex to a bigger scope of people so you can get to learn from, because I fortunately get to spend a lot of time talking about different marketing stuff that we work on. But not a lot of people get to hear the mindset of how old are you, sir?
I'll be 26 this year.
So he's 25. He's 25, vice president, and made $9,500 in the past 2 days.
2 days. It was a good 2 days.
So I'll pass it to you for a little bit. I'd love for you to kind of maybe just kind of backstory, talk about how you were introduced to FFL, what helped you start your career with us, and then we'll kind of jump into some schedule, mindset, VP, sales stuff, because you're a beast, and I want people to get to harness this Alexander Strate energy.
All right, cool, man. Appreciate it. Well, first off, before I even get into this, in the comments, drop a GP if you guys are grateful for GP, Mr. Grady Polcyn, and all that he does for us. I mean, the man has worked really hard for 2.5 years to build this up. He doesn't have to be doing this. He doesn't have to be doing this training every single week, but he does it for all of us so we can continue to grow. So incredibly grateful for you. I think that's the most comments I've ever seen, Grady. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a lot of GPs there.
I appreciate everybody. I'm just
all love for you, Grady, so appreciate you. But quick background on myself. I got started in entrepreneurship when I was 17. I was going to my senior year in high school, did not know what I wanted to do in college yet. I was thinking maybe sports journalism, and got introduced to a network marketing company and met a 24-year-old that was doing $10,000 a month right out of college. And in my brain, that was like the most amazing thing ever. And I'm like, I want to be just like that when I'm out of college. And so boom, entrepreneurship, that was my thing. And tried a lot of different things over the years, like I'm sure we all have. And fast forward to now, 24, 25, going on 26. And it's crazy that I looked up to this 24-year-old making $10,000 a month. And the last 2 days went out and wrote $9,700 in 2 days. It's just like, it makes you realize just how real this opportunity is. And it's not something that takes this super unique skill set. It's not like I have some special background. And when I was in the womb, I was doing insurance training and I grew up with it for years. It's not like that. It's just one of those things that learning to be coachable and learning to have the disciplines, the tiny little disciplines every day of listening to one more audio, listening to one more video. Like, I don't know about you, but if I don't know something, instead of just guessing, I try to be resourceful. I try to go find where I need to get the stuff I need to get. So I go find the videos, I go find the trainings, PDFs, whatever, websites, whatever I need to try to get my hands on it. And if I don't know where to go, then I go ask people who do know. And so I think that's the beautiful part about the system that's been created over the last 2.5 years with FFL America, is that everything that you need, every resource is organized, and there's always somewhere to go to get your answers from people that are making way more money than I am, way more money than you are even, Grady. People that have been doing this for 5, 10, 15 plus years, consistently doing $500,000 plus on their own pen, year in and year out. And those are the people that we get to learn from. So incredibly grateful to just be in an environment like that and to learn from people like yourself and everyone else that learned along the last 18 months in FFL. So can't say enough about the support here. So what do you want me to get into a little bit? I mean, you don't want to do some...
Well, we got your back. I want to know how you got here, right? You were working, without saying names, you were somewhere else. You saw something here. We can talk about that because maybe some other people are somewhere else. Maybe some people are working in another environment where it's maybe sales or commission based, or some people have jobs and jobs are fine, but maybe some people are looking, what did you see here that made you take the leap?
Yeah. I think the best thing about Family First Life that I saw when I was looking into checking something else out was that this is a place that seemed like a perfect fit for self-starters. This isn't a good place for people who have an employee mindset. If you need to be told what to do, how to do it, if you need someone to hold your hand, if you don't work unless there's someone looking over your shoulder, then Family First Life isn't the best place for you. But if you have a big vision for your life and what you want to do with it, and all that you need are the resources to do it and leads to go out there and make it happen. And that's exactly what Family First Life has, is we have the leads, we have all the training and resources for free. Like, people charge a lot of money for training that's way worse than what we have here at Family First Life. And then after that, it's just the self-discipline to go out there and actually do what you're supposed to do. So for someone like myself who's not an employee mindset, and I do have big dreams and big vision for my life, to be able to plug into a system where in the past, I just didn't have the kind of freedom I was looking for. And moving over to somewhere else where my compensation was immediately doubled, and I had own control of my lead flow. I had own control of my schedule. I had own control of my dials. I could dial when I wanted to instead of having to be on a strict schedule. To me, that was very welcoming because I knew that work hard, play hard. So when I'm working, I work hard. And these last 3 days were a great example. Memorial Day, woke up at 8 a.m. I woke up at 6:45, slept in until 7:05 because I'm human. We all sleep in a little bit. That first alarm goes off, you snooze because we all do. And if you don't, then teach me your ways. But set the alarm for 6:45 so I can start dialing by 8 a.m. And that give me enough time to shower, have breakfast, and be ready for my dialing. I made sure the night before I had all my leads printed out, got all my mortgage protection here, had my dial tracker. This is my actual dial tracker from Monday, right there at the top.
Nice.
So woke up 8 a.m. on Memorial Day, dialed from 8 a.m. till 11 a.m. hardcore with only like 5 or 10 minute breaks. Then from 11 to 1 kind of loosely. But it was such a great day to dial that I filled up my whole calendar in those 5 hours for the next 2 days. And then fast forward to Tuesday and yesterday and went out and wrote $9,700 of annual premium in the last 2 days. So that's the work hard. And the reason I like FFL is because if you work hard when you're supposed to be working hard, then you can go and play hard. And Grady, we've had our talks last year when I was maybe golfing more than I should have. And now that I see how big the opportunity is, really been more focused this year and trying to build towards vice president and beyond. So great opportunity. Just make sure that when you're supposed to be working, actually work, protect your dial time. And that way you can go enjoy your time freedom and financial freedom in little doses here and there when you want to.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You know, it is the basis of a good business person is when you're supposed to be working, you work as hard as you can. And then when you are with family or you want to go, you know, out to dinner or you want to take a weekend trip because you wrote 10 grand in, you know, you do it. And then guess what? You're home by Sunday. You get the laundry done because it's not supposed to be done on Monday. And then Monday you wake up and you start your business. And that is the discipline of a strong business owner, right?
And honestly, for someone like myself, that's exciting because like for some people, their motivation is like their kids or I don't have kids yet. You know, I'm 25 going on 26. I'm not married. I have a girlfriend. I'm not married. I don't have kids. And so my motivation for me is my time freedom where I am able to get away and enjoy vacationing. So knowing that I can discipline myself to work hard and go make $10, $20, $30,000 in a month and the focused effort that I'm putting in, and then I could schedule in my breaks and I have that to look forward to. In 2 weeks, I can get to go and take those 2 days off and go visit the family or something like that. Like as someone who's self-motivated, that's exciting because, hey, all I got to do is work for these next 2 weeks really hard. And then I got this scheduled in little break for 2 days or 2, 3 to 4 days, like however you want to schedule your life. But to have that flexibility, if you don't work hard during those 2, 3 weeks, you're going to be filled with regret on that little vacation or whatever you want to do. So really important to make sure that when you are working, actually work, remove all distractions, get off of social media, turn your notifications off, like focus. I dialed 5 hours hardcore focused, filled up my whole schedule, ran from 8 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Tuesday and Wednesday. So 13 and a half hour field days for 2 days in a row. If I wanted to take the rest of the week off, I easily could, but I'm not going to. But it's one of those things that those little focused efforts really allows you to grow into the potential that you want with this business.
So let's talk about your focused dial style. Let's talk about dialing and let's talk about leads and dials. So how do you, I mean, you know, where you're at is not where a brand new agent would be, but maybe an agent who wants to send into your level. What would you say is a good lead budget? And then on top of that, what is something that you would, I mean, let's pretend, you know, all these are your agents. How would you coach them as far as like, I mean, what you do is a good someone to model it. How would you coach someone on their dial day, right? Tomorrow or today's dial day, but say, you know, you're preparing, right? A lot of this is going, hey, I didn't do so good today. The next time I'm going to do better. And that's the big thing. If you don't guilt yourself all the time and go, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe maybe these 7,000 people are better than me. No, we're not. I promise. Yeah. We just stuck it in long enough to get good enough to get that next win that kept us in the game long enough to keep going. So like, how would you coach, or how coach or not coach, how do you approach leads and then the phones?
Yeah. So for leads, minimum lead budget should be $500 in a week. If you don't have the $500 right now, like when I first started, I didn't have $500 to invest in leads. And so I basically maxed out the rest of my credit card, which was $220 that was left. And that got me 89 aged CRM leads, just like you went over the CRM. And I grinded those CRM leads, wrote 4 policies off of that, use that money, and instead of paying bills, I went right back and reinvested into leads. And since then, just been on this train ever since. And so what I like to coach people usually with when it comes to lead flow is however much you want to write in a week, you need to spend minimum 10% of that on leads. And so if you wanted to write 10,000 in a week, then you got to be spending 1,000 a week on leads. If you want to write 5,000 in a week, then you should be spending 500 a week on leads, minimum. If you want to give yourself a better chance to hit that, then obviously you spend a little bit more. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a tax write-off. So it's going to come back to you in some way or another. So instead of being cheap with your leads, or basically cheap with your business, that's like running a Subway sandwich shop and only having like 3 pieces of ham and saying, I hope I don't get people who order ham today because I've only got the 3 pieces. And if somebody comes in wanting a ham sandwich and you're all out of ham, well, sorry, I guess I can't meet my goal of 5,000 for the week. So does that make sense? Like, give yourself enough tools to utilize and do the leads. And there's a couple skill sets and habits you have to build in this business. One of them is lead buying. I forget who said it the first time I heard it, but I've heard it 100 times since then. Get good at getting leads, right? And so we're blessed to be in a business that we have access to leads of people who actually want insurance, because I've worked in businesses that didn't exist and you had to go out with family and friends only. So the fact that we have that tool available to us, you get the leads, you schedule in your dial time, you protect it. Like, imagine it is a job. Like, imagine if you don't dial during those hours, you're going to be fired. So it's basically what you're doing to yourself. Like, look at the money you're making. Like, look at the people in the first column club and the people who aren't on that top 50. And the only difference between the first column club and the people who didn't make it on that leaderboard is the discipline to dial. If you get the leads and you create that little discipline to dial, that's literally the difference between 1,000 a week and 10,000 a week. It's just the discipline of getting leads and dialing. So I advise people, hey, how much, I work it backwards. What's your goal for the month? Awesome. How many weeks should you be working this month? Awesome. Okay, so that's an average of 8,000 per week. Great. So you need to spend 800 a week in leads. So I kind of usually work it backwards from their monthly goal. How many weeks per month are you working? Okay, that means you need to write X amount per week. So that's your lead budget. So that's how I usually coach my people through buying leads.
Let's say I've got 800 to spend this week. Like right now, I'm your agent. Alex, what should I spend on? I really want to make this work. I'd love to write 8,000. If I write 5,000, that sounds great too. I'm so excited. I see what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
What would you tell me to do?
So $800, that's an awesome lead budget. So I would probably recommend to go get 30 Facebook final expense leads. And that's going to run you anywhere from $450 to $600, depending on the vendor. And then with the remaining amount of money, I would load up on CRM leads. And the reason why is the CRM leads, I like to look at those as practice. And so I'm not going to sit here and pretend that the CRM leads are waiting by the phone for you to call. Oh, God, I've been waiting for you to call. They're not like that. There's going to be some objections. And if anything, it's practice. But the cool thing is you can get 200 CRM leads. You can get $200 worth of CRM leads, and that'll buy you 100 leads, 75 to 100 leads for $200. It's a steal. And all you gotta do is sell one and you 5 times your money. So if you look at it that way, instead of worrying about the 74 who say no, think about the one that you sell and you just made 5 times your money. And then all that practice you're getting with CRM leads allows you to be prepared for those 30 fresh leads coming in. That way, when you're spending money on those 30 fresh leads that cost more, you're not stuttering over yourself. You're not trying to scramble and find your script. You've already gotten into a good flow because of the CRM leads that you've been calling. You're already gotten all your dials. You're used to being told no. So all of a sudden when that new lead drops and you call them right away, and they are waiting for you to call them because they just filled out the form 3 minutes ago, you're like, God, that was freaking easy. And you fill up your whole calendar. So I always recommend a mix of new and CRM leads for your lead budget. I'm spending right now personally between $700 to $1,400 a week. I'll focus more on the new mortgage leads, which are more expensive, but took me a while to get there. You know, last year, I did all final expense, my whole first year, all Facebook final expense and age CRM leads for the whole year, and issue paid over 100,000. So depending on your lead budget, there really is no excuse. Like, you just got to sit down and do the work, and there is lead options for you regardless of your budget, but should be minimum 500.
So 2 questions. One, with your increased budget, what do you expect to issue pay personally this year?
We've talked about this. Put me on the spot. We've talked about going Hall of Fame, and it's something that I've mentally wrapped my head around, and it's something I am committing towards, because those red jackets are super sexy, especially being FFL Fire. Like, Fire is like yellow, orange, and red, and it's like a red jacket. It's like an orange undershirt. So I don't know. I thought about it a bit, but going for Hall of Fame, the 400,000, and I got off to a slow start this year through no one's fault but my own. And I've really tried to pick it up the last 2 months. And so in April, I did 30,000. This month in May, like everything I just wrote the last 2 days, no future draft dates. All of it issue paid on the spot.
How much America?
I had some Moo Accidental, and then one of it was American Amicable, so probably 7,000 America.
7,000 America. Are you going to hit your first bonus?
Oh yeah, that'll probably put me at about 48,000, 50,000 for the first bonus. Which we love that. It's an extra $4,000 just as a bonus. So we love that. How
did you get mentally? Because a lot of people, and this is just this is kind of just a very sort of like new agent question, but something that we all should have insight into. How did you get comfortable investing in leads? How did you get comfortable investing in leads? Not like, because most people have the mindset of, like, most people, right? Not us, not the people on this call, but just an overarching like understanding of how did you get comfortable with that?
Yeah. So for me, I think it comes from a place of gratitude, because I don't think people realize how good we have it here, the fact that we have leads. And when I hear people complain, oh, they said they weren't interested, I'm like, you don't even know. Like, the fact that you have someone to talk to is huge, and there's training on not interested. So it comes from a place of gratitude for me, because I've worked businesses in the past that there wasn't a guaranteed way to get leads just by swiping a credit card. And if you're worried about your lead budget, bet on yourself, go all in on the videos, and swipe the credit card. Like, be a business owner, be an adult. But coming from a place of gratitude where I used to not have leads, and now that there is a place where I do have leads, it's like, I think gratitude is the best way to look at it. Like, we don't realize how good we have it here. Like, in any business, real estate, insurance, I keep making Subway references. I must want to eat fresh. I don't know. But any business that you own, the secret to any business is customers, and customers are generated from leads. So the fact that we can work in a rock solid industry like insurance, that's been around since the 1800s, I think the first policy you said, like Ben Franklin.
Or the light bulb. That's all Andrew always tells me.
Yeah, like 150 years, insurance has been around, rock solid, not going anywhere. People know they need life insurance. The fact that we can work in an industry like that and not have to go find our own people to sell to, and they're literally coming to us, like, I think it just comes from a place of gratitude, like knowing that I know I'm not the best I'm ever going to be. I know that there's always another level I can get to. So I'm going to keep plugging into the trainings. I'm going to keep going to the training schedule. I'm going to share my screen real quick, Grady. Oh, I can't. Just kidding. I wanted to show them just the boot camp and the training call schedule, because, like, I feel like people listening to this, they think, wow, this guy's got it together. And it's like, I'm not anything special. Everything I've learned has just been the accumulation of 18 months of doing the exact same training calls that are available to all of us through boot camp and the training schedule. So
that's good. I mean, yeah, everyone who's on here should have references to know where those are at. So
yeah. Cool.
That's good, dude. Gratitude. And that's a big thing too. I mean, that's, you and I were in previous businesses together where we're walking around the mall, talking to kiosk people selling flat irons and asking them if they're interested in starting their own business or looking for an alternate way to make money. And it's a tough deal. And we made that work. And so when you come here and you swipe the credit card and your inbox fills up and all of a sudden the CRM dings, ding, dings, and you get that email at 8:30 at night. And it's
like, dude, this is like a dream come true right here. This is people with their, like, it doesn't get better than that, you know?
Whether got a letter in the mail, they read it, they go, Betty, what do you think about this? And Betty goes, Gerald, let's do it. They fill it out. When's your birthday? Smoke. You quit smoking, right? And then, right? And then they put an envelope, put a stamp on it, and walk into the mailbox, and then you call. I
Yeah,
mean,
and you get the lead 48 hours later, 72 hours later for a mailer. For Facebook Final Expense, you get the lead 30 seconds later. They're still on their phone. Like they're
Yeah.
still looking at the thank you page and you could be calling them. Like it doesn't get better than that. It's literally about the discipline to get those leads and then actually call them and dial them.
That's right.
So,
Okay, so let's jump into some sales stuff because you had a great day yesterday. So I'm sure you're I mean, you had a good day. You had a good couple of days. So, but which is to be expected at Family First Life. It's normal. Welcome to new normal. I mean, I remember I had my first time I wrote like 8,000 in a week, and I was like, I'm pretty positive, but like a little emotional type guy. Like I was like this thing's like changed my whole life. Like I mean, I don't need to hear my story again. Remember, I called Andrew and I was like, dude, like what is going on here? I wrote like $8,200, and he's like, dude, it's just another day at the office. Get used to it. And I was like, okay, so it's just another day at the office. This is what we do here. This is our new normal. Julius wrote 35,000. Jen wrote 25,000. You wrote 9,000 in 2 days. Welcome to Family.
I wasn't even in the top 10. 9,700. It's not even the top 10 here. Like, just the new normal. Yeah. So.
New normal. So sales stuff. So I'd love for you to just go. Like what you do, how you take control, whatever tools you use. Just let's have it.
So let's do a little bit of role playing on the phone real quick. And then I'll do an abbreviated in-home and then cementing on the back end. So I think it's something that we need to focus on a little bit is cementing. So let's just do that all and knock it out in 5-7 minutes. Is that fair?
We don't have to rush. We can take. We got time, bro.
We got time. I like that.
Time. We don't have to rush.
So I've been calling a lot of my mortgage leads, and so that's what's fresh for me. So I'll start off with mortgage, and then just know for mortgage you could easily substitute it for final expense. But the flow for any phone script for anyone who's listening: verify info. Let them know you're going to be in the area and you don't have a lot of time, and then just get a time locked in. That's kind of like the 3 main things to hit on with any phone script. So any variation of phone scripts you see, those are the 3 things: is verify the info, let them know you're going to be in the area, you don't have a lot of time, and then get a time locked in. So that's the structure. So ring ring.
Hello.
Hey, Grady.
Yes.
Hey, Grady, this is Alex. I'm just getting back to you about this card that either you or your spouse had filled out and sent back in the mail for the mortgage protection for your place at 10127 Burnt Mill Lane out here in Frisco. I just read their address. That's bad. Ignore that, guys. For the place out here in Frisco, 123 Main Street. I'm just the underwriter assigned to your case. Let me just make sure I could read your handwriting real quick. Your date of birth is 1179, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And then the spouse here is 6/19/74. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay, and no tobacco for either of you, right?
No.
Okay, awesome. So just to remind you, these are the plans that when something happens to you, whether it's a critical illness, disability, or death, that would take care of the rest of your mortgage amount or a portion of it, just depending on what you qualify for. And my job is super simple as the underwriter. I just need to get you guys the info that you guys requested and review with you. It takes about 15-20 minutes, and I won't be able to stay that long because I've got a lot of people to see in the area, about 10 to 14 families a day. But what is your guys' typical work schedule right now? Are you guys working like with COVID, or are you guys out of work?
Oh, I'm still working right now.
Still working? Okay, like typical 9 to 5, or what are your typical hours?
Yeah, 9 to 5, but I'm done by 5.
Okay, gotcha, perfect. So I'm going to put you in for tomorrow evening between 6 and 8 p.m. Is there any reason you and Joyce both wouldn't be there?
No, I got to check with her.
Got to check with her? Perfect. Like I said, my schedule gets super full, especially those evening slots. So I'm going to put you in between 6 to 8 p.m. just to lock in that time slot, and could be a few minutes early or late depending on how the rest of my appointments are going. But go ahead and check with her. If that doesn't work, let me know. But do you have a pen and paper? I just need you to jot down 1 or 2 things real quick. Just let me know when you're ready.
Ready.
All right, perfect. So my name's Alex, A-L-E-X.
Okay.
And got you down for tomorrow evening between 6 to 8 p.m. for the mortgage protection.
Okay.
And just to double check, when I punch in the 123 Main Street, is there any gates or gate codes or anything that would get in the way of me getting to your front door?
No.
No? Okay, gotcha, perfect. And I'm going to be driving up in a white car. And so when you see me walking and there's a white car behind me, that's how you know it's me. So you can put away the shotgun. I promise I'm pretty harmless and I got a goofy smile. So you won't be able to miss me, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, perfect. Like I said, I won't be able to stay long. Got a lot of families to see, but should take us about 15, 20 minutes. And I look forward to meeting and helping you and Joyce out tomorrow between 6 and 8.
Perfect. Thanks, Alex.
You got it. Bye.
Very good. Very good.
So verify the info, let them know that you're going to be in the area and that you don't have a lot of time, and then cement a time. And I always like to book in windows if I can. Like, you think about the cable company, they say, yeah, we got you in for Tuesday morning. And it's like, well, does that mean 7 a.m.? Does that mean 11 a.m.? Like the cable companies, when they're coming in and install your cable, they give a window. If you're busy, why can't we? Like if you give this exact time, 4 o'clock, and it's 4:03 p.m., and they're pissed you're not there, you're just setting yourself up for failure. So I usually like to book in these windows and confirm that those windows work for them based on their schedule.
That's good. It's good. Those are big windows, but that's good. I mean, it gives you a lot of flexibility.
So it's a little different out here in Texas because, I mean, sometimes driving from, like yesterday I had an appointment, it was an hour and 20 minutes away in the city. So Dallas-Fort Worth is bigger than the average city. So the average city, you don't need a window that big. Out in Texas, sometimes it's a little different, but I understand. Yeah, usually not that big of a window.
It's good. There's a ton of different phone scripts. Alex's was fantastic. One thing that I'm gonna call you on.
Mm-hmm.
So I threw at you, I need to check with my wife.
Yep.
And then you just went through and booked it, which is fine. But a good way to overcome that, it says, okay, perfect, Grady. What time is she usually home by?
Okay.
She's usually home by 7. Okay. So let's do like a 7 to 8:15. So like if you said 6 to 8, I'd be like, well, I don't know if she's gonna be home by then. And now I've knocked you back. And then now you're trying to play catch up. So if someone ever throws something at you, well, I need to check with my wife or I need to check with my husband. All right, perfect. What time are they usually home by? Right? I don't know what time I'll be home from work. What time are you usually home by? Right? You've worked at this job for 5 years. You've driven the same route home to the same house for 5 years. What time are you usually home by? So usually is a great way where they'll tell you, oh, I'm usually home by 6. Okay, perfect. I don't have something at 6, but I have a 6:15 or a 6:45.
Yeah.
Right? Just
cool.
a little
good feedback. Thank you. See, like we all have room for improvement. So thank you. That's something I probably should work on. So
you're doing fine. Just now you've got another arrow in your quiver to whenever you play Robin Hood or that's what a mentor always taught me. It's like more arrows in your quiver. It's how you get really good at different.
And for final expense, it'd be the exact same script, but instead of like talking about reading their handwriting or something like that, that's where you're verifying their hobby or thing they put down. And sometimes something that you get is, well, I don't remember filling that out, or oh, I'm not sure that was me, or I'm not interested in anymore. So go ahead and just throw one of those at me super quick, so I can show you how I overcome that objection. So, and it says here your favorite hobby, you put down bingo. Is that right?
What was this again?
Yeah, no problem. This was the state regulated final expense programs. Let me just make sure we even got your info right, because we may not have the right info. Your date of birth is 4/27/48. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And you're still over at the 123 Main Street?
Correct.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we got the right person. So I'm actually going to be in your area tomorrow servicing clients, but I don't have a lot of time. They got me seeing like 10 to 14 families a day. So do you have any doctor's appointments scheduled tomorrow?
I don't.
You don't? Okay, gotcha. Is there any reason you wouldn't be home tomorrow between 1 and 3 p.m.?
No, I should be home.
Okay, you should be home, or like you should be home, or like you're definitely usually home in the early afternoon?
Yeah, I'm home. I'm home.
Okay, great. Perfect. Yeah, they literally got me around the corner from you, so I'm going to swing on by and get you that information you requested. And it only takes about 15, 20 minutes, depending on how many questions you got. But like I said, I can't stay long and just go into cementing the appointment. So same concept of whenever someone throws something at you, let me just actually double check, make sure this is right. And then you could just verify the info again and you're back to taking control.
It's good. The big thing that I think people miss is you talking about how you're seeing 10 to 14 families and I don't have a lot of time. So people want what they can't have. They want something that's urgent. They want things that are exclusive. And if you are someone who is busy, doesn't have a lot of time, but you provide a service, right? No one wants to go to, you're sick as heck, right? Or you've got some ailment that you need to get fixed or repaired. Okay, let's go this way. You need shoulder surgery, right? You need shoulder surgery. Do you want the doctor that's available tomorrow or the one that's booked out for 3 weeks, but he's the best in the city?
That one.
That one, right? So think about that when you're talking to your clients. Don't be so eager and open, right? Client, they say, I can't I get home at 6. I don't have one at 6, but I've got a 6:15 or 6:45. Right? People want exclusivity. They want things that are busy. They want people that are active, right? If hey, I ain't got nothing going on all day. I'll just sit outside your front porch till you get home from walking the dog, and we can go over it then, right? I mean, like so that's a big thing that I think that you're throwing in that we don't actually teach enough, is that creating urgency for yourself. You might not have a single appointment tomorrow, but what the presentation is, I've got a 10:15 or a 10:45. Take it or leave it. That's what I've got.
And if someone suggests a time, never say that you have that time. Well, how about Friday at 4? Can't do 4. I've already got something else going on, but I could do 4:15 or 4:45. I've already got at 4 o'clock. I know I can't be there by 4. And like, just shows again that busyness. So yeah, same concept.
Money. All right, let's jump into some sales stuff.
Cool. In-home. So forms that I have in every single home, and this is all on fflamerica.com. Click on downloads. It's all there. So first off, this sheet. So when I walk into a home, I pull out my state license. Actually, you know what? Got my bag right here. I walk into a home.
What kind of bag you got? Hold it up. Show people how professionals look.
This is my bag.
Looks like a nice bag.
See, it's got a little bit of some work on it, but it's got 18 months of in and out of homes.
Awesome.
And I walk in.
Yeah, professionals have bags or backpacks. Yep. Julius was going to write 400 grand and he uses a backpack. So I ain't going to hate on backpacks.
Cool.
Professionals don't have a clipboard with a bunch of wrinkly papers. Step up your game.
Correct. Super quick, I want to rewind 15 seconds. A different dialing method that if you find yourself struggling with age leads is the third-party dialing method. And so pretend like I use the name Jake. So Jake is booking Alex's schedule. And that way if they ask a question, well, how much does this cost? You know, honestly, I'm just a guy who books the appointments. I have no idea how these programs even work, but Alex can explain all that to you. And he's actually going to be in your neighborhood tomorrow between 2 and 4 p.m. Any reason you want to be home? But yeah, I just need to know the cost. Again, like I literally don't even know how the programs work. Alex can go over all that tomorrow. He's great. You're going to love him.
Drop Jake in the comments below if you thought that was money, because that was legit. I've never heard that, and that was awesome.
Yeah,
Jake.
So that's a good one for age leads is you just leverage the third party and I use Jake because Jake from State Farm. So that was like the joke, you know?
It's fantastic.
Yeah. So I'm Jake from Family First Life, and you're going to love Alex. He's great. He's so funny. He's such a good guy. You're going to love him. You kind of like hype yourself up a little bit, you know? So, so that's a good tip for age leads. Totally. I was going to mention that and I forgot. So back to the in-home. I do have 2 things laminated. I know I don't like to laminate too much. One's the state license, and the other one is this credibility sheet. I also have a credibility sheet on paper. This is what I leave with them at the end for their summary. So the papers that I use in the home is I use this credibility sheet first. This is the first thing I address. And then I let them know that we got to fill this form out together. It's got, 2 minutes of some health questions, 2 minutes of some money questions. I use the old Grady Polcyn script. Listen to that video probably 20 times. Nothing I'm doing is original. It's just copying people who have been more successful than I am. And once we get this form filled out, depending on what plan we're looking at, if it's final expense, I have this handy dandy new final expense whole life benefit sheet that I kind of slide in front of them and let them read over while I'm pulling up some quotes or working on the e-app. And if we're talking about the Mortgage Protection America HMS, I've got the same little handy dandy sheet. So this has been a game changer for me because I have personally not been good enough about using company materials. I actually have it on my to-do list to order some more. So knowing that I don't have to wait on the company to ship me stuff, and I can go on to fflamerica.com, click on downloads, and print out 20 of each of these and have these in my arsenal. Just another arrow in the quiver, to use your terminology. So these are the 4 sheets that I pull out in the beginning of the presentation, and then I have my 2 things that are laminated. And if they had a lead card, I have the lead card. If I don't have a lead card, then I just talk to them about the Facebook ad form and fill it out. So that's what I use in every single home. So what do you want me to go over for in-home?
Just let's roll through. Let's roll through your open, and then we don't have to show how you present numbers.
Yeah,
but
cool.
Let's go through just your open, and then let's say that I agreed, and then how do you tie it down and close it?
Awesome, perfect. So Grady, so most people who fill out that Facebook ad that you responded to for final expense, they're usually either looking to get some final expense coverage or add to what they already have, or they want to make sure their kids are taken care of. But tell me a little bit about what you kind of had in mind when you originally filled out that form.
I don't want to leave my kids a big expense. I
Don't want to leave your kids a
cost
big
money, and I want to get some protection for them.
Okay. Have you ever had to like plan a funeral before or no?
I have a couple, yeah.
You have? A couple. Okay. When was the most recent one?
My grandma?
Grandma?
Yeah, probably
How long ago was that?
a couple of years ago.
A couple years ago? Like 2 years ago, 10 years
Yeah,
ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago? Okay. Gotcha. And did grandma have any life insurance or no?
Grandma had no life insurance.
Oh my gosh. Wow. What'd you guys do? Like GoFundMe's or like car washes or did you come out of pocket? Credit cards?
Big credit card, yeah.
Big credit card. Yeah, it's tough. People don't realize how much this stuff costs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me kind of show you how I may be able to help you out today. So I'm a licensed underwriter in the state of Texas. So this is my license, and you can take a picture of it if you want. There's my license number. And for someone like yourself that wants to take the burden off your kids, make sure that, you know, you're not left in the same, your kids aren't left in the same situation that you were when your grandma passed away. They got us working with over a dozen different companies, and we specialize in retirement planning, but we also do the mortgage protection, and then we'll be talking today mainly about the final expense life insurance. So instead of having just one option like just State Farm or just Allstate, we get to shop around together to make sure that you're getting the most bang for your buck. Does that make sense?
That's great.
That's great. Okay. So in order for me to kind of help you out and figure out what would be best, I got this little sheet here. So it's got like 2 minutes of some health questions, 2 minutes of money questions. This will kind of give me a good idea of your scenario and what you may be able to qualify for. And just so you know, Grady, any options we look at today, obviously are top priorities. Got to make sure that it's affordable and comfortable for you to keep, because the only insurance that matters, it's not the one you get, it's the one you keep, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But then most importantly, I do box it in like that. I make a big deal about boxing it. Most importantly, we have to see if you qualify, because, you know, that'd be like looking at houses, and if you don't know if you can qualify for the loan, it just makes no sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That makes
Okay.
sense.
So that's why I have this iPad here. This iPad is where we're just going to take your information. They're going to look you up, make sure you're not a felon, make sure that they actually want to accept you. And it takes about 7 to 10 minutes there at the end. And after that, you'll have an offer from a company, and they give you 30 days to decide if you want to increase your coverage or keep it the same. But we will make sure that we at least get through that today, so you have your peace of mind. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, so the whole thing should take about 20 minutes. So then you get right into it. So that's my little opening. So I don't get into the paperwork. Nobody wants to hear your spiel. People don't care about what you know until they know that you care. So, and plus, the more info you get up front, the more you can leverage it if you start getting objections or pushback. So all of a sudden, if you start pushing back, I can just kind of leverage that and say, well, hey, like, I understand that this is like not an easy topic, but like, do you remember when your grandma died, how tough that was to take care of that on the credit card? You can leverage that later on. So get as much info as you can up front. The best way to eliminate any objection is to overcome it before it ever comes up. So the more info you get up front, the more information you gather. It's just more, I like that reference, arrows in the quiver. I'm gonna start doing that more often. So
that was very good. That was very good.
That's kind of the opening.
That was awesome. That was awesome. So you're polished because you have done this. Were you this good when you first started?
I almost cussed there. Heck no. Almost.
Do you have some bad days? You remember some tough days, some no-sale days?
Dude, I remember like 5 months in, I remember that one time I called you after I went like 0 for my last, what was it, like 0 for 13. And I called you and I'm like, Grady, dude, I don't know how to freaking sell insurance anymore. Like, I don't think I could ever sell another freaking policy. Like, do you remember that call? I was so like just flipping the tape. I was so pissed. That was like, so that was 13 appointments in a row where I didn't close them, like actual sits. And I was just like, dude, you gotta be freaking kidding me. I've been doing this for 5 months. I've sold X amount. Why can't I freaking do this? And it's just a numbers game. So we all go through that. And I mean, I had a really great last 2 days. My next 3-4 days may suck. Who knows? But
what did you do to dig out? Do you remember what you did to dig out back then?
I mean, I called you And I remember we focused on getting the check, and we focused on making sure they realize like how the submission works with the EAP. I don't remember word for word like what we talked about, but it was where I struggled during that time was in getting them to commit to doing an EAP on the spot. They would look at the quotes and then they would want to think about it and they wouldn't commit to like giving a check or something. So I called you and I'm like, dude, I can't finish these apps. I can't even start these apps. Like they're not wanting to move forward. And you told me to like focus more on establishing up front what we're going to do today and finding the need. So, I mean, I don't remember word for word. It was about a year ago, but
Yeah.
is that kind of what you were getting at?
No, yeah, that's because a lot of times when we have people that we're working with, we're trying to figure out like, you know, what is the thing. And so a lot of times it's, well, where's the pain happen? Where does the pain happen? The pain happens on the check. The pain happens that they don't trust me. They don't like, there's a lack of ability to move forward. And you get to figuring out what the reason is because of it. And it's either not building enough trust in the beginning. It's not eliminating objections enough. And it's a multitude of these different things. And it's not just one thing, but sometimes it's professionalism, body language. It's inappropriate jokes we make when we sit down. Like, I mean, it's many things. Like a big time when I started learning about, like my life is a lot different than when I started selling. But when I started selling, my life was a lot different still than a lot of clients I sit with. And so when you sit with a lot of agents will sit down to like want to become best friends. Like when you're sitting with your clients, they don't want to know that you were both from Illinois and you want to talk about like the best burger joint that you went to is like, that's people don't buy from friends, right? Yep. You don't become best friends with your shoulder surgeon, right? You want him to be a professional, focused, and tolerant, and focused on what you're doing. And so that's a big thing that I think maybe we do sometimes as outgoing people is we think, hey, I'm gonna chum them up, and then they're just gonna be putty in my hand. That's not what they want. They want trust. They want strength. This is about death. This is money. This is my kids we're talking about. I don't need to be BFFs with you. I need to know you're gonna be in business in 30 years. Something happens to my kids, yeah. or at least Americo is going to be in business in 30 years, or Mutual of Omaha, or AIG, Trent, whatever, one of these companies. So yeah. I think that's where, you know, we go in these blips. But as you find yourself, I'm sure now, like, and not to say that it's boring, but to say by your 7th appointment, you're like, all right, let's just run through it again, right? Because you know exactly what to say, right?
You're sitting in the car, you're like, oh, okay, here we go. All right, let's go.
But is your first is what you say different in any appointments now? Is it pretty much identical because you've had so much positive feedback from making a sales on this same structure?
It's identical to a degree. The structure, the exact same copy and paste. What's different is I try to use the client's words that they use, so that way they know that I heard them. So for example, I had a mortgage protection appointment yesterday, and same thing. So when you filled out this card originally, what were you hoping that mortgage protection meant? What does that mean to you? And kind of get right down into it in the beginning, like before we even go into all this and everything, just figuring out what they're looking for. And the guy was just like, well, every time I fill out these cards, all they're trying to do is sell me life insurance. And in my head, I was just like, you know, I'm trying to show it on my face, but I'm like, uh-oh. So I was like, okay. So I'm like, well, life insurance, what do you mean by just life insurance? He goes, well, they keep trying to schedule physicals and poke and prod me with needles, and I don't want to do that. And I was like, ding. So to him, life insurance meant fully underwritten. So before we even got into it, and I said, awesome, well, you're going to really like this because there's 2 different kinds, and under the insurance umbrella, there's fully underwritten, which is what you don't want. And then there's simplified issue, which is the umbrella that mortgage protection falls under. And all it is a couple questions, a 10-minute EAP, and you'll be approved or declined on the spot. Does that sound fair? He was like, if you can give me exactly what I want and there's no needles, I'm in. I was in and out of the house in 37 minutes. Got him exactly what he wanted. It was $1,600. And so asking those questions up front and figuring out what they're looking for allows you to, like if I had gone into the whole spiel and I never overcame the fact and I never acknowledged that there's no physical, he may have been all gruff the whole time because he thought eventually, here we go on all this again, and here comes the physical. So getting ahead of that, I forget your original question, but like getting ahead of that ahead of time and knowing exactly what they're looking for, and then using their words, that's what it was, using their words to make sure that you are giving them what they want. That's important. That way they know they heard you.
Good. That's a big thing in negotiating. There's this masterclass. If any of you guys have heard of masterclass.com, it's a really cool. I'm going through this one called negotiating, and one of like the first things they teach you in negotiation is repeating the client's words back to them, or in this situation, whatever the person you're negotiating's words back, because it's parroting, but it lets them know you hear them, which builds trust, right?
Correct.
So when you correct. So when you repeat back the words to them,
so you just commented mirroring. Yeah. If the client is leaning forward, I'm leaning forward. If the client has you can't see my leg. If the client has their leg crossed, I'll cross my leg. Like you try to be a mirror of what the client is doing. And at first, in the beginning, you're doing what they're doing. And then after a while, you could do things and see if they follow you. So for example, after a while, like once you've built a lot of rapport, you can kind of do one of these. And then you wait, and then all of a sudden the client goes, and now you know you want them because they're mirroring you, or in the beginning you were mirroring them to build the rapport and trust, and then boom, they start mirroring you, and it's a done deal. Body language.
All right, let's see your close, and let's get these people back to the phone. So
cool, for sure. So close at the end of the appointment or getting the check?
Both. Let's roll.
Cool. So getting the check. So perfect. So they pick a plan. Let's say they pick the middle option because 9 times out of 10 they always do. All right, Grady. Great choice, but like I mentioned in the beginning, and like I said right here, you do have to see if you qualify. So we're going to go ahead and do that request for coverage like we talked about. Like I mentioned, this is just where they're going to make sure that you're not a felon and that what you told me health-wise here actually does check out and it's not too serious. So we're going to start off with that company, America, that we talked about and see if they'll get you approved or not. If not, no big deal. That's why I'm a broker. But this whole process takes about 10 minutes. And at the end of this, you'll have that peace of mind that we talked about. So I just need your driver's license. And then you mentioned you bank with Wells Fargo, right?
Right.
Awesome. So yeah, they just need to validate you have a legit checking account. They'll take that first draft if you get approved. That way you will be covered during that 30 days while you're deciding if you want to move up or down. And then I just need a little bit of water. I'm just a little thirsty. I don't want to get that white stuff on the corner of my lips right there, like my grandma. So it should take us about 10 minutes. And then I just stare at the screen and I start working. And they don't usually get up for the first 2. They always get up for the bottle of water. And then while they're up, and don't forget ID and just that void check as well. Thanks. And you just keep working. So that's just almost copy and paste exactly what you say. I just watched your videos again 20,000 times, and I still do to this day because we all have room for improvement. Copy and paste. And then at the very end, when it comes to cementing, after I finished everything up, leave them their summary sheet. So I'll leave them whatever product they got. I'll leave them this. I'll leave them the summary sheet, business card. On the back of the summary sheet, I'll write down their coverage with all the benefits again. Even though it's already on this paper, I do it again in case they lose this paper. And then when I'm cementing it, one of the first questions I ask when I close the iPad, I do like, how does it feel to finally have this taken care of?
Good. That's great.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm really glad that we gave you that peace of mind you deserve. You see how this fits all the needs you were looking for, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any reason at all that you could think of that you would ever want to cancel this?
I can't think of anything right now. I just want to see the policy.
Perfect. Yeah, they're going to send it to you in the mail. It takes 1 to 2 weeks to come in the mail. If it's been over 2 weeks, give me a call and I'll go out their throats for you, figure out what the heck's going on. But this is comfortable for the budget like we talked about, fits all the needs, and gives you and your kids that peace of mind exactly that you were looking for. So if you ever need anything, is that your cell phone right there? Awesome. I'm going to save my number in your phone. That way, if you ever need anything, you have my number directly. And I'm also going to save your number in my phone. That way, if you call, I know it's you. And then as I'm going ahead and putting in their number, I go ahead and I'm like, hey, by the way, I don't know if about you, but I remember faces way better than I remember names. And I've got over 500 clients. And so we're going to take a selfie. That way, whenever you call me, whether it's tomorrow or 7 years from now, when you want to refer me your best friend, your picture pops up and remember who you are. So go ahead and smile real quick. And I take that selfie, and I've got probably over 500 client selfies on my phone, and I save it to their contact. So
that's cool, dude. That's awesome, Alex. That's awesome.
And it kind of builds a little bit of rapport. And again, you're not a friend, but you're friendly, and you gave them that peace of mind.
So you can see. So as you can see now, everyone, why Alex is successful. He works hard. He's focused, a student of the business, and he's also now introducing this to other people. You've built a very successful team and growing. Vice president, Great advancements on the horizon, a lot of new growth, a lot of new agents, 70 agents in class right now that are working with you and your team, 20 people in contracting coming on board, which is going to breed a lot of new agents getting involved. And that's it. If you want to build a big business, you want to help a lot of people, become a student of this, become focused like Alex has, become diligent, eliminate distractions, get up early, put yourself in a position that this is your business. This is your job. If you don't become successful in this, then you'll get fired and you'll fire yourself. And that'll be a silly thing to do when you're right here with us during this time. Like this is the golden time of Family First Life to get in here with us and set yourself up and connect with other people. And very proud of you, Alex. Any final words?
Thank you. Just anyone who's watching this, whether you're first time ever checking out FFL or you've been on the leaderboard a couple times, wherever you are in your journey, there's going to be a point looking back in 2025, 2030, when Family First Life is this household name. And people are going to recognize Family First Life just like they recognize Allstate and State Farm because of just strictly the word of mouth without even having to do ads. And you guys are going to be able to look back at that time and think one of two things. Either, wow, I was there in 2020 and they were only doing 14 million a month. And I'm so glad I took it by the horns and ran with that thing. And look at my life now and all the people I've helped and the impact I've made and the way I've set my family up for success for a legacy. Or you're going to look back at 2025 and 2030 and see Family First Life as his household name. And you're going to say, too bad those leads didn't work. And it's not going to be about, and you're going to blame someone else other than yourself. So take the ownership. We've got the system. We've got the mentorship. We've got the leads. We've got the training. Take ownership of your life and your control so you can live a life that your guys are destined for instead of a life full of regret.
I love it, man. We're going to leave it with that. Alex, I appreciate you, buddy. I'm proud of you. Can't wait to see how you continue to succeed the rest of this year, how your business continues to grow and all the great agents you're working with. With that, everyone, have a wonderful day. Kill it on the phones, and we'll see you tonight with Julia at ffllive.com, ffl-live.com. Thanks again, Alex. Have a great day, buddy.
Thank you.